Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Erin and today is Friday, which means it is Book Review Friday once again, and everybody strap in. This is going to be an interesting review because I think I know how I feel about this book, but I'm also still processing, which could lead to a semi-interesting review. We'll see. So be warned. But today we are talking about Antioch by Jessica Leonard. If you guys watched my February Nightworms unpackaging, then you saw this is one of the books that we received, and I was so excited. I looked up on Goodreads. I've had this on my TBR since October of last year, so I have been wanting to read this for months, and I'm glad I read it. I have mixed emotions, but I am so glad I read this book. We will get into that though. So this cover has to be one of the prettiest covers I've ever seen, and I know I say that quite often, but I think it's the colors. These colors are very bright, they're very vibrant, they're very watercolor-esque, which you don't see very often in horror. It's not something that, I don't know, covers usually stick to very black, red, gray, white, that kind of thing. Those are the typical horror colors, sometimes blues, but this is so bright. It is so eye-catching, and it's gorgeous. Also, I don't know if you can see it, but there are pictures inside the cover that I never noticed before. You have this guy right here. You have these down here. I'm not going to go into too much detail about them because they do get brought up within the plot, so it does make sense, but I didn't even really notice. At first glance, you can't even see that there are pictures inside of a picture almost. It's crazy. It's a very intricate, thought out cover, and I appreciate that so freaking much. I appreciate that so much. But it's a stunning cover. I'm obsessed with it. It's beautiful. It is such a beautiful cover. I want to look at it all the time, to be honest. It is so pretty. But now we're going to get into the synopsis. This is going to be quite a short synopsis. The plot is pretty... it's easy but also complicated, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But I'm going to give you a very vague synopsis, and then we'll get into my thoughts. But I'm sorry if you like more information about the plot, but some of these books I just cannot give you too much information or it spoils way too much, so I'm sorry, but it's gonna have to be a vague one today. Antioch has a murderer running rampant, and he is dubbed Vlad the Impaler. 6 women have been found brutally murdered, and there's no real lead to who it could be. By day, Bess works at a bookstore, and by night, she's on a shortwave radio looking into conspiracy theories on Amelia Earhart. One night, Bess picks up a transmission through her radio that is very odd. She's convinced that what she picked up is proof that the murderer has a 7th victim, and if nothing is done, then they're going to end up just like the rest. Okay, so that is the bare bones plot. That is the bare minimum that I can tell you about this book. There is a lot to this story. I will get into some of it, but I'm gonna hardly touch on it because there's a lot going on in this story. There is a lot. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and we will get straight into my thoughts. Here's a little fun fact about me. In middle school, I was assigned a paper, and I was given the topic of Amelia Earhart, and I became obsessed with her and what happened to her. I was very into conspiracy theories, and I still am. I love conspiracy theories. They're really fun to me. But I was so obsessed, still am. I find the whole idea of what happened to Amelia Earhart very fascinating, and it's just something I think about quite a bit. So I think that's another thing that drew me to this book, is that the main character and I share this weird fascination with Amelia Earhart, which is a very, I don't know, not an unusual topic, but it kind of is. So I think right off the bat I was like, yes, this is a book for me. I need to know what this is about. The premise of the book is something that I usually enjoy. A regular person playing detective. They're trying to solve a case or stop a murderer from killing again. It's suspenseful. It's a race against the clock. Will the murderer kill again and the character be unsuccessful in stopping them? Will the murderer figure out that the character is trying to stop them and come after them and try to kill them? It's action-packed, you know? It's a very anxiety-inducing kind of story, and I like that. I like my horror to be suspenseful, so I think this premise is something I was drawn to just because I like that whole amateur sleuthing kind of vibe. It's very interesting to me, and I don't know, I guess I was drawn to it. So in saying that, this isn't a idea that is unique or different. It's something I've seen done in movies and in other books. This isn't anything new. So I really thought I had an idea about where this book was going based on the facts that I was given. I was wrong. This book is insane. This book is crazy. I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea what was going on. Yes, you have the mystery of who is the murderer, Bess trying to stop them, but there's so much more mystery to this. It's not just one thing. There is several things happening in this story, which makes it confusing. I don't know what it is about me and picking confusing books recently, but I'm not mad about it, because the more confusing a book is, the more intrigued I am by it usually. I mean, there are different levels of confusion, don't get me wrong. There's interesting confusing, which makes you want to keep reading and figure out what's going on, and then there's just plain confusing, where nothing makes any sense at all and you want to throw the book across the room. So this isn't that. This is the intriguing confusing, and I much prefer that. First, let's talk about Bess, our main character. She is highly unreliable. She drinks quite a bit. She ends up losing days, so she wakes up one day and thinks it's a Monday, but in reality it's a Wednesday, and she doesn't remember Monday or Tuesday happening, which is alarming. And then some of her reactions are very odd. Things will happen that she seems very unfazed by, but she should probably be worried or have some type of reaction. It's a little alarming that she doesn't have a reaction. So those are just a few of the things that occur. I'm not going to go through all of them, but yeah, she's unreliable a lot of the time. I even think that someone could make an argument about her being a Amelia Earhart conspiracy theorist, kind of about her unreliable nature. I understand that to an extent, because there is that whole stigma that if you listen to conspiracy theorists, you're crazy, that kind of thing, and there are some theories that are wildly unbelievable that people do believe in real life. So I do think someone who doesn't like conspiracy theories or doesn't believe in them would take that as her being unreliable as well, because she believes things that aren't proven. However, we were just talking about Bess being unreliable. Every single character in this book, in my opinion, is unreliable and suspicious. I could not trust anybody in this book. Couldn't trust Bess, couldn't trust anybody. I had no idea who was good, no idea who was bad. I, at one point, thought everybody was the murderer. I was seriously just going down the list. I was like, maybe it could be you. It could. I mean, I don't have any proof for that, but it seems plausible. And it was making me paranoid. This book, the paranoia is real. Oh my gosh. From beginning to end, I felt so paranoid. I was, oh my gosh. I can't even explain I can't even talk. I can't even explain to you how paranoid I was feeling because of this book. It was insane. I felt like I was going crazy. I felt like I was going crazy because I had no idea what to make of anything at all. Now, me saying that, this leads into my next point. The questions. Oh my God, I have so many questions. I have so many questions that have gone unanswered. Everything's a question, honestly. This book doesn't answer anything. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Zero. Nothing. At least in my opinion. Maybe I am an idiot who just didn't connect the dots very well, and because that can happen. If I get into a book and I'm not really paying attention, I will not connect things. This book might be a book I have to read a second time and just really pay attention to, but in my opinion, this book answered nothing. At least it didn't answer anything concretely, which I will talk about here in a second. The ending was so abrupt. I swear to you, the climax had just happened and then it ended. I was shook, which sounds stupid because I am old saying that phrase and it doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth, but I was just mind boggled. Oh my gosh, I swear to you, I read the last page 20 times because I was not ready to accept that this was the ending. I was so angry that it had ended because I didn't know anything. I think I know some things, but I swear to you, I reread that last page 20 times. One, because I was trying to see if I missed something. I was trying to see if something had just snuck by me and I was just not paying attention very well and I missed something. And then also I was just trying to reassure myself that I wasn't losing my mind. So that's why I read it so many times. Like I said, I have a lot of questions. Now, I do think there are several conclusions one could come to based off the ending of this book and based off what we do know from reading. But this is my problem. It's not a concrete answer. None of them are. At least in my opinion, they're not. I think you could make several conclusions. I've already made two or three that I think are the most likely in my mind that is what the ending was alluding to. However, that bothers me because I said it before and I will say it again. I like my endings tied up neat and nice with a little bow. I like you to tell me exactly what's going on, and this book did not do that for me. It did not. It did not. So, yes, I think you could come to a conclusion. However, I wish it was a little more substantial. I don't like the ambiguity. I like some ambiguity, but when the whole book is ambiguous, in my opinion, it's very frustrating because I didn't get any answers. At least any answers that were very obvious. I think, like I said, I can make connections, but they're just not substantial enough for me, and I needed more. I needed more from it, okay? And I need to know if I'm right or if I'm wrong. That's my biggest issue, is I need to know if I'm interpreting things correctly. Because it's like what was drilled into me in English class, you know, when in high school, where you interpret the book, but then your teacher is like, well, is this correct? I don't know. Try to back it up with proof from the book. I feel like I can't do that. I feel like I can't back up my theories, and so that's bothering me. I just don't know what to think. I was about 40 pages away from the ending when I texted Justin and I said, oh my god, I can tell this book is going to end in a really shocking way, and he laughed, but then it ended and I was like, okay, this isn't the shocking that I was hoping for. I was really hoping for answers, which I didn't get. So I really just don't know what to think at this point in time. Now, this is the problem. This is where I'm confused about this book. This book captured my attention. I read it in about 3 hours. I just sat there and read it. It's about 200 and something pages long, so not very long. I just sat there and I was hyper focused, okay? I was in it. It consumed me. So I'm in love with it because of that. However, the ending makes me want to hate it. So it's like I'm in a love-hate relationship with it right now, because I loved everything about it except for the ending and except for the fact that I did not get answers. So I'm really confused on how I feel, because I want to say this was such a good book. I think I personally believe that this was a great book. I loved it. But why couldn't I have answers? That's my biggest thing. Why? Why did you do that to me? Why? Why would you do that to me? Why couldn't I have my answers, you know? So because of how strongly I feel towards it, it's not negative, I guess. I'm gonna say I really, really enjoyed the book. Like I said, I'm confused. I don't know what to think. If you have read this, please tell me what you think the ending was saying, because I need to know if someone else thinks the way that I think, or if I am so far off, because I have several ideas in my head. I just don't know if I'm right, or I don't know. I just don't know. So if you have read this book and you think you know what the ending is about, please let me know, because like I said, I have several ideas. I just don't know which one I prefer or want it to be. So let me know what you think. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? How do you feel about it? Let me know if it's something you want to read. I honestly highly recommend it. I don't know. It was really good. It was really, really good. Oh my god, it was really good. But that ending was unsatisfying in my opinion. But I still like it, and I still think you guys should check it out if it sounds like something that you're into. If not, don't check it out, because I don't want you to waste your money on a book that you won't like. That would be really awful. That's going to do it for my review on Antioch by Jessica Leonard. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please. I'm begging someone. I need to talk to someone about it, okay? I need to. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of content you enjoy from me. That way I can keep providing you with that kind of content. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We can become friends, talk about books, movies, makeup, horror, all kinds of things. I do a lot on this channel, so hopefully there's something for everyone. And with that being said, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!